Welcome back to a weekly gaming news show. This is episode 90. Today is March 4th, 2018. We got some news. There's a rant coming up, so
Oh
be
yeah,
prepared.
yeah. Strap in for that one.
Strap in for that one, and we're here.
Yeah. So episode 90. We're finally out of those dirty 80s. I feel like we was there for a little too long, so I'm glad that we finally made it. We made it this far. How was your weekend? How's everything been going?
It was pretty good. We did a Girl Scout cookie booth yesterday in the Howland Winds. It was pretty successful. We sold most of the cookies, which was nice.
That's crazy.
And we got a few just walk up donations. They didn't want cookies, but they just donated to the troop, which was nice as well. So
come on, man, you got to take the cookies. Come on.
Yeah. I'll take the money either way.
Yeah. Did you keep the cookies from?
No.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah, but I did buy myself some cookies.
Good. Which ones? Thin Mints?
No, my daughter likes Thin Mints. I'm not a Thin Mint.
I love the Thin Mints.
I got her the Thin Mints. I'm all up on these new cookies. They released them last year. The s'mores. Those is the shit.
I haven't had the pleasure of trying those.
Oh,
but
you gotta get the s'mores. It's graham cracker cookie with with marshmallow chocolate filling. It's.
So in case you guys didn't know, this is a gaming podcast, and we will get to the gaming news. I'm just messing around. But yeah, it's good to have you here. If you're watching us live, we are broadcasting across 4 different platforms. We are on YouTube, Mixer, Twitch, and Facebook all at the same time. We go live at 7 p.m. The episodes go up at 12 p.m. that following Monday. We just want to be here for you, so let's go ahead and get started with the show. And the first thing up, of course, is our weekly icebreaker. And if you're unfamiliar with that, it's just a question we like to ask between the two of us to get a sense of where we are on certain gaming topics. So with that said, Boogie, why don't you introduce our weekly icebreaker?
So this week it's based out of one of the quick hits we're going to be talking about. But what do you think of live action shorts that expand on the game's lore, on a game's lore?
Okay, so this isn't like a brand new concept. And one of the stories that we're going to be talking about later, we'll dive a little deeper into it. But I always think that if it's done well, it helps. But if it's done poorly, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, definitely. I feel the same way. And to be quite honest, I haven't seen any that were particularly done well, especially the live action. There's been some animation ones.
Okay, yeah. So there've been some animation ones, yeah.
But the live action ones always seem like not even B, but C type movies. I mean, the acting is bad, the directing is bad, the audio is bad,
CG is bad. Yeah,
everything is always bad on it. But I mean, like I say, if the story is compelling, it would be great. I mean, the last one I actually watched, they did the one for the Division, and I got about 7 minutes into it, and I was like, I can't. It's I mean, and I think it was only like a 25-minute video, but it's just so horrible. I couldn't deal.
Yeah. I don't really catch myself like, anticipating an episode of like a gaming franchise on TV or something like that. Yeah. I remember, I think it might have been last gen. They did this whole like sci-fi like TV series for a game, and it was like going on. You know what I'm talking about?
Defiance.
Yeah. I never really caught myself like clamoring for the next episode of Defiance. I heard it wasn't terrible. I heard it was actually better than the game.
It wasn't a bad show. The show was actually pretty decent, and the game was crap.
Yeah.
I bought the game. I stopped playing the game, and I kept watching the show.
Yeah. I heard that from a lot of people. So I don't know. Just with any other type of like, extra promotion for a game, if it does well and people enjoy the story, it'll be something that they remember when they actually get into the game. But if it's done bad, it might, keep somebody from playing the game at all.
Yeah, exactly.
So you gotta be careful with that, man. You gotta it has to have the same like love and care and attention to detail put into it as your game itself,
So
you can't half step it.
I just have a follow up. Is there any game that you would like to see some kind of live action lore extension to? Something that they extended the story, or maybe they fill in something that's missing in the game, or even like a prologue.
You know what? And this has something to do with one of the stories that we're talking about later. Bloodborne. I think a live action like prelude or epilogue to the Bloodborne game, if done right, would be excellent. And like I haven't even played Bloodborne yet, and I appreciate the lore because I've seen like plenty of people play it, so I appreciate the lore and expanding that through a live action sequence. Like it doesn't even have to be like a series; it's like a 10-minute like video.
Right.
I think that would like blow up the internet.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. What about you? Anything?
I would, to be quite honest, I would like to see the bridge between Gears 3 and Gears 4.
Oh,
something that bridges that gap, because when
that was a huge time gap.
Yep, when Gears 4 starts, the original cogs are all gone. There's only Marcus left, and he's all old and broken down, and he's got like adult kids. So yeah, I would like to see at least some portion. Like you don't have, obviously you can't go through. I think it's something like 20 or 30 year difference or something like that. It's some time that goes by. But I would like just to see like hit the main events that led from Gears 3 to Gears 4.
Yeah,
that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be really cool. If there's been one constant throughout like modern like shooters, and especially third person shooters, is that the Gears stories have been pretty legit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do look forward to the next Gears of War game, even though I did not enjoy the multiplayer on this most recent one. But yeah, like you said, you're just probably just gonna play the story. I definitely want to see the story.
Yeah.
Something that as somebody that bought the first, you got to like see it through. Yeah. But so that was our weekly icebreaker. If you have a question that you would like us to answer for this segment, hit us up on our social media. The links and addresses are down in the little bottom. What is that? Your right? It's my left. I don't know.
Yes,
it's in the bottom of the corner. You see it down there. We're on Twitter at AWGamingNS. We're on Facebook as well. Hit us up. Ask us questions. And if you use the hashtag AskAWGNS, we trace those, so we'll be able to find any questions that you guys ask for us. So let's go ahead and move on to the next segment, which is going to be our quick hits. And these are kind of like little lightning round stories that don't necessarily deserve a deep dive, but they are stories that we want to talk about and bring to you guys. So, Boogie, what's up first?
We've got a new character in Overwatch.
Overwatch, man, the game that is old as hell and is still better than stuff coming out right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. People are trying to copy it for sure. There's a funny thing on this even. But yeah, so Overwatch released their 27th character. It is a support character. She does. It's a support character. Her name is Bridget. Mm-hmm. She's the daughter of Torbjorn, and she is actually the apprentice of Reinhardt.
Reinhardt, yeah.
Yeah, Reinhardt trained her. And she uses a flail. She does defense type support. So basically, she drops armor packs and can heal you with a couple of her abilities. Her ultimate ability gives you a shield and gives her a speed boost, and it's like a permanent shield. So when I say permanent, it's only not. It doesn't like on some of the characters, like for instance Lucio, he gives you the overshield, but once his ultimate runs out, the shield goes away.
Right.
Well, the shield she gives you stays on until somebody shoots it off.
Okay.
So
okay.
That's kind of cool. She has a myriad of moves. She's in the PTR right now. People have been playing with it. In fact, they play with it so much that they had to implement some changes because a couple of her moves are a little bit more powerful than they were expecting.
Early nerfs.
Yeah, early nerfs. Well, that's what they always do on the PTR, right?
Yeah.
They put it in there, see how people play them, and make changes as needed.
Right.
And then, there's no word on when she's going to be available on the live servers, but if history serves well, you expect her within the next 2 weeks to a month. I mean, they put them on the PTR, and within the month they're live.
Yeah. They're pretty quick about getting these characters playable. Once like the announcement happens and all that, they're pretty good about that. So
yeah,
it just might be one of those reasons I pick it back up. I mean, the last time I played, I had a blast, but it's just I don't know. It's just I have so many other games.
Right.
And I don't like going in solo.
I got my PlayStation back on PS Plus, so when you pick it up, let me know.
Oh, man, we got 2 games we got to play now. We got to have a session where we just sit down, play Overwatch, and then play some PUBG. We got 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah, don't forget we got to get in and test these dedicated forums.
Yeah, we haven't even taken our monthly shellacking in For Honor. We haven't done that, so that's 3 streams that we have to do for you guys.
Yeah, but one thing that's really funny on this, you know the game Paladins, right? And how it was pretty much a blatant ripoff of most of Overwatch. And a lot people are arguing like, oh well, Paladins was in development at the same time or before, blah 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 blah, and that's possible. It came out later. Yeah. It's not hard to change character models. It's not hard at all to change the character model and moves. So I call BS on that. But anyway. One of the developers, the lead developer or game director, tweeted out his astonishment of how Bridget is very close to one of their characters. Like, really?
Like, dude,
come on! And he did he did it in jest. I mean, to be fair, he was just poking fun. He did it in jest, and he followed the tweet with like something like "Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black?" or something to that effect. So, I mean, he did it jokingly, but he brought it up. And my feel on that is he's just trying to gin up some pub for his game.
Yeah, some good press.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're gonna get anything Paladins copying. I don't know. It's like what he was trying to imply. It was like there's no way you're gonna rip on them for that.
Exactly. Even if they are guilty. I mean, come on.
Yeah. If they took your character, you took their entire game, bro. Get out of here.
And added some weird horses.
Yeah. I was like, this is Overwatch with mounts. I'm like, why do I need the mount?
Yeah, for no reason. Just to weirdly sprint from where you spawn to the battlefield and then get off and never use it again. That makes no sense.
Oh god. But yeah. So is that all we have to say about Overwatch?
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that right now.
All right. Well, moving on. We got some Ubisoft news because they have been on a bit of a shopping spree. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they went and bought some stuff.
Bought some stuff. Got some trinkets, some toys.
Yeah.
So they got 2 new studios that are going to be added to the list of their subsidiaries. One of them being 1492 Studio, who is the maker of the mobile game. It's like a dating sim, I'm assuming. It's called Is It Love? And I don't dwell into this sector of the mobile marketplace, so I have absolutely no idea how popular this is. But Ubisoft must have thought it was popular enough to go ahead and swipe up.
Yeah. So it seems to be pretty popular in this genre, within its confines or its group of whatever competes against it. Seems to be popular. It's a free to play, so it's got microtransactions. And Ubisoft has said that they're not going to pull production. They're just going to keep growing the game in that community. So
similar to what what was it? Activision that bought up King.
King, when they brought King, same type of thing. It's basically them jumping into the mobile arena. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure if Ubisoft had anything mobile. To be quite honest, I don't.
They have some like first party mobile games. There's some Rayman games on there.
Yeah, a couple of Rayman games. They did do those Assassin's Creed companion apps. But
yeah.
I mean, nothing like super major. At least nothing like this.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And also on their receipt after their little shopping spree, we have Blue Mammoth Games. And these guys are the developers behind the Smash Brothers clone Brawlhalla.
Yeah. So again, and Brawlhalla is actually one of the top fighters on Steam right now.
It's crazy how popular this game is. It has its own esports league.
Yep. Yeah, it's super popular. And again, they said they're not going to they're not going to reassign a developer. They're going to let them continue to develop Brawlhalla and build in that game and that community as well. So it's just like them jumping into two
different genres. Yeah.
Yeah. It seems to me like they felt that they were missing something and they went and brought 2 pieces to fill in those holes.
Yeah. So they have their party fighter with a pretty substantial esports league going on in Brawlhalla, and then a mobile game in a very niche genre all in its own with the 1492. Yeah, 1492 studios. So yeah, I mean, putting their foot in two different wells.
Yeah, hope they don't fall over.
Yeah, hope they don't fall over. Yeah, same here. Because I don't know, Ubisoft hasn't been like the worst company in the last couple of years,
right?
So I'm somewhat rooting for them, I guess.
Yeah, I mean they've been less worse. They've been less bad than both Activision and EA at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next story, and we're still in the Ubisoft arena because we got some Far Cry news. So what's going on with Far Cry?
So Far Cry 5 is coming out this month. Actually, it's March. Yeah, it's like 25th.
Oh my God, it's March, dude.
Yeah. So
I can't wait. I got to get that game.
Yep, Far Cry is coming out this month, and they are releasing on tomorrow, on March 5th, for all of us or you Amazon Prime subscribers, a short. It's basically a prologue into the Far Cry 5 game. It's called Inside Eden's Gate. It looks like it's going through the way of something like Blair Witch or Cloverleaf. Not Cloverleaf.
Cloverfield.
Yeah. Is going along that route. It looks like it's a couple of vloggers that tries to sneak in and investigate this cult in Montana, and bad things seem to happen.
Yes, bad things ensue.
Right. So I don't know. This spawned our icebreaker. I will watch it because I'm a Prime subscriber. It's not something I'm like dying to see.
Right.
But it does pique my interest. And like you said, Far Cry is something I'm definitely going to be getting.
Yeah.
So yeah, if it's going to give me a little information into the game and let me know what I'm getting into before I get into it, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, get a little extra insight on like the background of like the characters that are going to be in the game. I'm definitely going to get this. I'm a Far Cry fanatic. I've played just about every game in the series, and right now I've actually got my girlfriend. She's anticipating Far Cry 5 because of how much fun she had with Far Cry Primal.
Right.
So I'm looking forward to this. And because of my hype and anticipation for the game, I might just check out the little
the short,
the little short just because.
Yeah. And Far Cry 5, this is the one that it's coming with Far Cry 3 if you buy like the season pass version, right?
Get the season pass. There's two I think the poster that they show off, I wish I could bring it up. It's they showed like 2 expansions and then like 2 story expansions and then like the entirety of Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
So that's pretty dope because Far Cry 3 will probably, I mean, depending on how 5 does, right now I would still say that 3 is the best in the series.
Right. Yeah, and you're not the only person. I've heard that from my brother's is huge on Far Cry 3, and I've heard that from other people as well.
It's crazy how good the game is and how much I hated the main character though. I think that was the one with James Brody. I think that was Brody. Yeah, I hated Brody.
Yeah, it seems like it was carried by his villain, and
yeah, it was.
If you have a good villain, you can get past some issues with the protagonist. I can
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when is this already live? Like when is this?
Monday. Tomorrow.
On Monday. Okay. So on the 5th.
It goes up tomorrow.
Yep. All right. So yeah, I'll probably be checking it out. In the morning.
Yep.
Right before we go live on YouTube at noon, I'll probably just sit down and just check it out.
Check it out. Yeah.
So yeah, that's Far Cry, and next we're moving on. We got a blast from the past because Chrono Trigger makes a surprise appearance on Steam.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Chrono Trigger, the all-time classic RPG from the SNES era. A dream project between 2 developers that were currently working for like competing video game companies.
Dragon Ball and
no, it was Square and Enix. They were separate before.
Enix, they were separate before.
Yeah, they were separate before, and they came together to make this game along with Akira Toriyama, who is the illustrator for the Dragon Ball franchise. Right. So yeah.
And I played Chrono Trigger, and we talked about this before. Before the show, this is the game that really got me into JRPGs. Chrono Trigger did. I played that game like ad nauseum. I think I went through it like 3 or 4 different times. I thought the story was great at the time. The animation was great. The art was great. The music is top notch. I mean, everything they hit all of the main points of a game that you can think of, and they did it well. It was a great game. It is a great game.
Yeah, I mean, I've never played it personally, but it's just one of those games that has like the history that you just gotta respect. You know what I'm saying? It's like you hear about Chrono Trigger, like, yo, you know that's a good one. Yep. You should probably play it one of these days.
Yep. So now here's the problem.
Yeah, here's the actual news.
So down the road at some point, they did a version or port to the DS. And apparently this particular PC port is the DS port and not the SNES ROM, which
rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah, that's not the way to go.
Yeah, I don't know what the like disadvantages are as far as the 3DS version compared to the SNES, but apparently it was enough of a issue.
It's noticeable. It's definitely noticeable. The sprites and the control. I think it's just mainly the sprites are significantly different because of the DS had the smaller screen. They seem to be. You can tell. You can look at it and tell that it's not the original version. And of course, at the time, the DS. I mean, even though it's an SNES game, they still had to cut corners into what they can put on the DS. So there's a lot of issues. It's disappointing that they did it that way. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. We've seen other studios just put up the actual ROM from the 16-bit game on Steam for purchase.
Right. And it does come with the Dimension Vortex and Lost Sanctum dungeons that was also DS releases.
Okay.
They weren't available on they were done after. They weren't available on SNES. But I mean, if you've never played Chrono Trigger, I mean, at this point, it's pretty. I wouldn't say it's insignificant, but I don't think if you've not played Chrono Trigger and you were interested in playing it being a DS port should make a difference. I think it's like $12.99 right now on Steam. You got $13. You want to play great JRPG. Chrono Trigger is definitely not a bad choice.
Yeah, I think the only ones that are going to have a huge issue with it are the purists. You know, the ones that played it back in the day and would like to have it in their collection, you know, on their PC, but don't want what they feel like is an inferior version.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So those are our quick hits. Let us know what you think. Hit us up on our social media. Pick our brains. If you agree with us, let us know. If you disagree, definitely let us know, because then we want to argue with you on the internet. It's somewhat of a pastime over here. But quick hits. If you suggest any stories to us as well, they'll most likely be entered into this section. So with that said, we can move on from our quick hits and into our top 5 news stories for this week. But right before we do that, I do want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor. So if you give me a second, I'll go ahead and bring up the splash screen for it. And bam, there we go. Go to newchallenger.gg and join the Discord that's going to help you get good at your favorite fighting game. I'm now supporting Dragon Ball FighterZ, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Street Fighter V, Injustice 2, and Tekken 7. If you want to get good, you want to impress your friends, you want to build a foundation with your favorite character, the New Challenger Discord is the one for you. Also hit them up on Twitter at New Challenger TV and follow them on Twitch as well, because we have the Dragon Ball Z League that is currently just ending. I think it's third or fourth week. I can't remember. But yeah, so we have an active ongoing weekly tournament that you can also participate in. So that again, the website is newchallenger.gg. Let them know that True Sonic sent you. And shout out to Mr. Vinegar, who is the founder of the Discord server, and our good friend Mount Lover, who is not only a coach, moderator, and commentator, but he's also running the Dragon Ball Z League tournament, solo style. So Mount Lover is the homie. Make sure you show him some love. But with that said, let's get into these top 5 news stories, shall we?
All right. So the first story is one of your favorites.
Oh God,
we got some free games.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot.
Some free games. Yeah. So Sony has announced their PS Plus games for March, and they actually, even if they just announced one game this month, one of the games they announced would have been just enough, because this month, beginning in March, you're going to be able to get Bloodborne, which is a classic, a modern classic.
Modern classic, yeah, I agree with that.
Is very good. And then also Ratchet and Clank is going to be available. So I think the Ratchet and Clank one is the remake, right?
Yeah, this is the remake of the PlayStation original version. Yeah, the original game.
Right. So Ratchet and Clank, if you're a platformer, Ratchet and Clank is actually a pretty good game to get into. And then, Bloodborne, if you haven't heard about Bloodborne, it's an action RPG game that's just off the chains.
Yeah, you've been living under a rock. You ain't never heard of Bloodborne. I don't know what's going on in your side of town. Need to get hip, my boy.
Yeah. And then for PlayStation 3, there's The Legend of K and the Kickstarter disappointment, Mighty Number 9.
Oh, Lord.
Then on PlayStation Vita, you get Clear, the Extended Cut, and Bomb and Busters. Now,
but wait, there's more. Because when dealing with the PS3 and Vita versions, this is going to be the last time that they receive free games.
Oh, no. It's next year.
Oh.
March 8th, 2019.
Sure? Yeah. Oh, okay, so I read that wrong. Okay, so starting next year... You won't be able to get any more free games on PlayStation 3 or PS Vita.
Right. So yeah, this is the last year for you to be getting more than 2 games, as far as we can tell. More than 2 games. I mean, right now this month's games, there's 3: Mighty Number 9, Clear Extended Cut, and Bomb and Busters are all playable on your PlayStation 4 via the Sony's cross-buy program. But starting on March 8th, 2019, there will be no longer PS3 or Vita games in the PS Plus lineup. Now, we don't know if that means that it's just going to be the 2 PS4 games, or if they're going to be adding more. That's not been clarified. Multiple outlets have asked and haven't gotten responses back from Sony on that.
It would make sense that they would just add like at least 1, if not 2 more PS4 games.
I think what they would do is they add a PSVR game monthly, and that's it. And then they'll continue with these free-to-play packs, because they have another one this month. If you play Dungeon Defenders, which is a free-to-play game, you get the Dungeon Defenders PS Plus pack. That's starting on March 13th, and it has 4 shadow costumes, 1 million in gold, 5 shard packs, and 5 defender packs, and a ninja Gato pet. So like a ninja cat, because isn't Gato cat, right?
I think, yeah.
So you're going to be getting that. That's beginning March 13th and available through April 10th. And Sony, the past 3 months, have been giving out these booster packs for free-to-play games. I think they gave one out for Warframe. And then before that, they gave one out for another free-to-play game. I forget which one.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be their tact is going to be 2 PS4 games, maybe a PSVR game, and then a
free stuff,
a pack for a free-to-play game, which is cool. I mean, it makes sense, because there's 6 people with PS Vitas, and people that's playing the PlayStation 3. I mean, I would have thought that by now this year they would have gotten, since PlayStations were being sold for $200.
Yeah.
And at the very least, you have a full year, so maybe next year they'll have another super great deal, $200, $150 PlayStation 4s that you can get and get off that PlayStation 3.
But my question is, what's going to happen to that library? Because as you know, when your PlayStation Plus lapses, your games go away.
So they said that you'll still be able to play and download the games that you already have. So if you've downloaded, if you accepted or bought the games while it was free for PS Plus, you have acquired the game while it's free on PS Plus, you will maintain possession of that game. Apparently, they're still going to be in a store, so you'll be able to go and download it and continue to play as long as you're an active PS Plus member. It's just going forward, they're not going to add any more new games.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I think it's an embarrassment because Microsoft is doing it, Xbox One and 360 games, but the difference is you can always play the Xbox 360 games on your Xbox One.
Yeah.
Where the PlayStation 3 games, the only time you can, if it's like this month, Mighty Number 9, if it's a cross-buy. Otherwise, there's just 2 games sitting there that most of the people most people aren't able to play. So
yeah, and I'll be honest, like there's been months where Games with Gold have released a game for 360 that I just really wanted to play. And then I was like, I don't even want the Xbox One games. Let me get that 360 game. And I just played it on my Xbox One.
Exactly. So,
and I'll always be salty at the one time they had Yakuza. I think it was Yakuza 5.
And you missed it?
No, it was on PS3. I couldn't get it.
Oh, you couldn't? Oh, yeah, for PS3. Yeah.
Just pissed me off, man.
So what's the point, right? And that's the thing. It's bad publicity. It makes people frustrated because, especially again, we're seasoned. We know what's going on. But if you got somebody that's, Mary bought a PlayStation 4 for little Billy, and she's like, "Oh, look, there's a free game on PS3. I want it." And they're like, "Well, you can't get it because you got a PS4." And then, that's disappointment. Yeah, and that makes you look bad.
Yeah, and that's always been a problem with Sony. It's just like their system is just way too convoluted. They just have a weird system going on over there.
I mean, that is just like their stupid UI. That's just
everything is just everywhere. I'm like, crazy. But back to the point that we were talking, the 2 games that are coming out for free on PlayStation Plus, bangers. Go download them.
Go get them. Yeah, definitely. Go get them.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next story. What we got?
We got some DMCA takedown controversy.
Oh my goodness.
So there is a YouTuber. He goes by the name of I am Patty. Wait, I want to get this right.
Please.
I am Patty Jack.
Okay.
All right, so he's a YouTuber. He goes by I am Patty Jack. He's not a huge YouTuber. He's got something like 15,000 subscribers. He said his videos average a couple of hundred people per view. He's not he's not breaking the bank. He's no PewDiePie, right?
Right.
So he does a series that he calls the worst game ever. And he'll pick a game and he's like, this game is the worst game ever. And his latest episode, he did a game called Super Seducer. And he put up the video, and I guess he had around the video got about 150 views or something, and he noticed that one of the developers jumped in
into his comments.
Into his comments, a guy by the name of Richard Laruna, however you want to say that. And he gets in there and one he puts a comment in there that was pretty not okay. I guess he was kind of he went in on I am Patty Jack.
Yeah.
And they subsequently got into a Twitter spat, and it led to Mr. Laruna submitting a DMCA takedown on his channel. And I am Patty Jack got a DMCA strike. Right. What makes this really problematic is that, one, the company sent him the game to review. Apparently, they sent him PS4 and Steam keys so he can review it.
Yeah.
And this is what he does. This is his stick, right? So if they sent it to him, the PR company, if you sent them that, it's got to be, you've got to know what he's doing. If you're
right,
PR,
the series is called The Worst Game in the World,
right? So they know what they were doing, and to be fair to whoever the PR people is, after he got the DMCA takedown, apparently they reached out to him and they tried to make nice with him. They said, look, we're sorry, we'll pay for any lost revenue, we'll work with YouTube to get that strike cleared, and so on and so forth. It seemed like this Richard Laruna just kind of went out on his own and did this because he's a dick.
Yeah, just a fucking asshole.
Yeah. That's all I can say about that. I don't know any reason why you would go and do that. other than you just being a dick. And I mean, there were some comments in the Twitter that, painted him as such. So I mean, it makes no sense. This poor guy's got a DMCA strike, and if you're unfamiliar on YouTube, if you get three strikes within a certain time period, I think it's in a 3-month period, your channel can be canceled.
Is gone.
Yeah, so this is a big deal to YouTubers, and the thing is, the way the DMCA is written, there's nothing you can really do, because these content providers can just look, I don't want you on there, strike. They don't have to give a warning. I mean, if they can prove that they own the IP of the video that you put up, you're toast.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bad look for a game. I don't know. Maybe he did it to drum up some publicity. Maybe they might be in it together. Who knows? But at the end of the day, this story looks horrible. On one, the way the DMCA is construed, and two, this particular retard. I'm sorry, that's political. This particular idiot, it's just dumb and unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree. And just the language he was using when they was going back and forth on Twitter, it's like he barely even knew what the hell he was talking about.
Right.
And then he just did something just because he wanted to do it, and it's gonna cost this guy like a strike. Hopefully, YouTube works with him. And removes the strike from his channel, because this definitely seems highly unreasonable.
Yep.
And as somebody that's not even as big as Video Game Donkey, because he also made a video about this and it came out fairly the same time.
Right.
His video had way more views. You know what I'm
saying? Exactly. That's what the I am Patty Jack was saying. It's like, I don't even know why he's on my video. It's barely a blip on it. Nobody's really paying attention to it. So
So it was weird that he sought out a channel on with a video about his game that had low views. He thought he can smack him around, do what he wanted, and
he tried to bully him.
Tried to bully him.
That's what it seems like to me, bully.
That's crazy. And then there's the game, Super Seducer. What the fuck is this? It's actually the worst game ever. That's the thing. It's stupid. Oh, God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah. But I don't know. It's like I said, it's problematic, and we'll talk about
We'll talk about a little bit more about that later. But let's go ahead and move on to the next story for now. People drive me crazy sometimes. But and speaking of driving me crazy, Nintendo was in the news. All right, so if Nintendo hasn't already pissed you off enough, when you went to GameStop for Bayonetta 3 and it was $60.
Man, listen, let me tell you something. Nintendo needs to go fuck themselves. I feel bad because I have the Switch. It's my money. It's just sitting up there. It's got probably about 2 inches of dust on it, right? So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a game that I can walk around with, because I don't like playing it on a TV because the textures, the graphics is soft because it's low res. Right? So I'm like, you know what? Something I can take upstairs and play on the couch. I can play in my bed, whatever. Let me get Bayonetta. So I was going to go get Bayonetta 2-in-1. I'm expecting, it's a 2-3-year-old game that came out on the Wii, right? I'm expecting
that came out on the Wii U.
Wii U, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting to pay $40, right? $39.99 for the game, and I know 1 and 2 comes together. No.
Bayonetta 2 came out in 2014.
Bayonetta 2 is $49.99. Bayonetta 1 is $19.99, and if you bundle them together, you get $10 off Bayonetta 1. So basically, I'm paying $60 for 2 old as fuck games. Nintendo, go fucking fuck yourself with a cactus.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Nintendo charging full price for 3 and 4 year old games.
God dang, man!
I don't know what it is, dude. Because when Bayonetta 2 released in 2014, it was $60, and it came with the original game.
And it's still $60 with the original game. 4 years.
And then now the game is 4 years older, and they're still charging full price with the original game. It doesn't make any sense. It's essentially the exact same product It's the exact same product. And in this case, you don't even get 2 separate physical copies. Yeah. I have the disc for Bayonetta 1 and 2 on Wii U.
And to be fair, for me, it would be a new experience, but still, I mean, come on, man. Give me a break. I mean, anytime anybody releases remasters, we got one coming out, Burnout coming out right now, $40 for the game and all of the DLC. We go back, way back, when there was the Platinum Hit games. They always came out for cheaper. I don't know where Nintendo gets off releasing old as hell games for full price. They can go to hell. Son of a bitches.
So getting to the news, Nintendo has pulled its user reviews off of the Switch only after 1 week of implementation. Right. So they introduced it. Hey, you guys can leave user reviews on our games. Mm-hmm. And then a week later, we don't want you to do that no more. Right. It's gone now.
Yeah. So Nintendo hasn't specifically or officially said why they removed it. Mm-hmm. They said that the official word is like, this was a feature we were testing and we may bring it back. But I mean, it's the internet. We know why they removed it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take a guess. Somebody or somebody's put some stuff that was unflattering,
some unsavory language.
Yeah, some stuff that shouldn't have been put up there, to be fair. And Nintendo's like, yeah, we're Nintendo. We're the family game system. We don't do this, so take it down.
Yeah.
And the problem I have with that is Steam, PlayStation, Microsoft, Xbox. They have been having user reviews for ages. They've had the same problem. They figured out a way to get most of the worst stuff down. So for Nintendo to put this up and not be prepared is I mean, what are you doing, Nintendo? What the hell are you doing? Really?
Yeah. They just can't take any kind of criticism. And I don't know what's going on right now, but like everybody's acting like we owe Nintendo some great huge debt or something. Because I don't know, they're just getting a little too much love over here.
Yeah,
I don't want to sound like I'm hating, but I kind of am. I'm hating.
Yeah, I don't understand. What I don't understand is how Nintendo gets the free pass. Just some of the stuff that they do. If Microsoft did it, it would be front page news on Polygon and GameStop and all of the other shows, all the other major things saying Microsoft is destroying gaming and they're ripping you off. If Sony did it, they'll have the same type of headlines. Sony's been so good for so long, so why are they doing this? But when Nintendo did it, it's like, oh, look, Nintendo's giving us the ability to spend $60 on a 5-year-old game. Let's all rejoice and have a party.
Yeah.
Drinks on me. Fuck out of here.
Virgin drinks. Yeah, can't be getting intoxicated. That's not the Nintendo way. I don't know what it is, man.
I mean, like I said, they should have known something like that would be coming, and they should have had the proper tools in place to deal with it. And it just seems like they didn't. And this is the way they do it. It's like all or nothing for them, and it's disappointing, I guess.
Yeah. Racing game of the year though, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
The Dice Awards has no credibility.
Let's move on. Our next story involves Microsoft, as they have just released the notes and everything involved with the upcoming spring update.
Yeah, it's upcoming. Yeah. It's released to Microsoft Xbox Insiders, which, little humble brag here, I am one. Thank you very much.
I'm one too. Just level 0.
Yeah, I've got the update. I'm in the alpha ring, so I got the update like the day they announced it. I went and checked the update. It was there for me, and it's actually bringing a lot of stuff that people have been asking about. A lot more things that may not have been asked for, but
definitely cool.
Definitely. Yeah, we want them. So one of the big features, now I was going on the forums, a lot of people are really happy about this, is they're bringing 1440 display to the Xbox One S and X. So not the OG Xbox, but if you have the S or the X, you can now display in 1440. And we know that a lot of people, especially with their PC setups, either the dual monitors or the ultra wide, they like that 1440. So that's coming. They are also adding a new mixed interactivity where you can hand over control to a viewer.
Yeah.
On PC, you can they plug in their control. It looks like they can use keyboard and mouse because there's a on-screen layout that you can do. But if they have a controller on the PC, you can hand over control. So if you're playing a game and maybe you're stuck, or you're like, hey, somebody's is sassing you, and you're like, look, if you can do better, do better. You give them the controller and see how
give them the hand me the sticks, cuz.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just be in everybody's mixer chat. Yo, hand me the sticks, cuz. Hand me the sticks. Let's go.
Yeah. Another thing which is cool is they opened up tournaments. Tournaments have been a thing since last year. You can create tournaments for many games, fighting games and first-person shooter games alike. But to do a tournament, you had to have a club, and the people that were in the tournament had to be in your club. What they've done now is they pulled the tournament out and they put it directly into the game. What do they call it? The hub, the game hub.
Okay.
So now you can create tournaments, open tournaments open to anybody, and anybody can create a tournament for the game. So if you're playing like Injustice 2, you go to the game hub. There's now a tab for tournaments. You go into tournaments, and there's a list of tournaments that have been created, and it works just like the LFG thing. You go in there and you say, look, I'm interested. Whoever's started the tournament acknowledges you and says, okay, you can join, and they put you in the tournament, and it puts up on the schedule. You can set up notifications and all other good stuff. So that's
tight.
Super cool. There's also, they added a high contrast mode, which is really nice. I like that. They added scheduling for your modes. So they have a light and a dark mode, and they have it now. You can schedule when the light and dark modes are on. So you can say from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. it should be light mode, and from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. is dark mode, and it'll auto do that for you. And it's a bunch of other small things they did. One of the things I like, which people might laugh at me, but I don't care. They changed some of the audio cues, and I like the audio cues now a little more pleasing to me. I like that as well. So yeah, I mean, it's a big update. It's pretty nice. There's a bunch of more stuff they did. They're doing stuff with a smarter feed. They did some more dashboard work. They added some features to clubs as far as filtering and sorting and stuff like that. So they've done quite a bit. It's cool, and I've liked the dashboard. I actually kind of like this dashboard more. Before it was the 360 dashboard. I think it was the second generation one with the blades. It was probably one of my favorite.
Yeah, man.
But right now, this dashboard with the way it's set up and the ease of me moving around and finding stuff, I like it.
That's what's up.
I like it right now.
Yeah, that's
in a good place.
That's what's up. Yeah, I honestly have not been. I haven't been playing my Xbox lately, man. I've been on PC and I've been on my PS4 primarily. I feel really bad about it because I just found out that there was another insider beta for Sea of Thieves that happened this weekend.
Yeah, I'm in that. I played a couple of games. You know what? I'm not sure about Sea of Thieves. It may be more fun if I play with people that I know and like, as opposed to playing with. I play with the randos I play with. They seem to be like a bunch of kids.
Okay.
And you know what happens.
Oh yeah. Kids. Well, what I'm saying is I missed out on it. So I wish I would have got into that. But damn, Sea of Thieves. Oops. But yeah. Anyway. These updates seem really cool, and we do stream on Mixer as well. So I'm curious as to how it would work with the whole restream interface. If I could go to Mixer and if you want to play the game with me or something like that. Oh, right. One question I was gonna say is, if you hand somebody your controller, can you play as player 2 on your Xbox? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question. So
could you play a co-op game with your chat? That's crazy.
Awesome. That would be awesome.
That'd be tight, man.
And the cool thing about it is when you do hand over the control, everything works except for the guide button.
Right. So they can't just go to your guide and look up your social.
Right. All they can do is control the game.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. So, and if they, like you say, if they have a piece, they don't have a controller, they can do like the on-screen manipulation with the soft controller.
Yeah.
But if they have a controller connected to their keyboard, to their PC, they can play. That's actually a good question. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I would think you probably could, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I don't know. Might have to do some sleuthing.
Yeah, I'll go check those forums.
Yeah,
they have the insider forums. I'll go check those out, see if that's in there. If not, I'll ask that question.
Cool.
That's a good one.
All right, so we have one more story for you in our top 5 news stories for this week. Boogie, why don't you go ahead and bring it up?
Yeah, so remember at one time Red Bull gave you wings?
Yep.
Well, Red Bull gives you kicks to the head now.
Tatsumakis?
Yeah, because there is now the Red Bull Conquest Esports Tournament. It's a fighting game league that's sponsored and run by Red Bull. They're playing 3 games. They're playing Street Fighter V, Tekken 7, and
Guilty Gear
XRD Rev 2.
Xrd.
Yeah.
Xrd Revelator 2? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
For weird ass names.
Yeah, they can keep that crap. I don't know Japanese people and their craziness. But yeah, that it's starting up. So basically, it's a 15 city run. With the finals happening here in DC, in the DC area, in DC.
Yep.
In November 15th, I think is the 16th, date it was. 16th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's coming, and yeah, you can go to their website right now. They have it up. And you can sign up. It kicks off in Chicago this month, actually. It kicks off in Chicago on March. I should have remembered this, but I'm old. It kicks off in Chicago. I'm sorry, not this month, next month. April 28th is the first date. Kicks off in Chicago on April 28th. And they're going to Chicago, Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Dallas, Denver, LA, Minneapolis, Nashville, New York, Orlando, Philly, Phoenix, San Francisco,
everywhere.
And Seattle before finishing here in DC with the grand finals.
That's where we at.
Yeah, that's where we at.
So yeah, that's actually going to be pretty legit.
Yeah, a serious tournament sponsored by Red Bull, and
not just sponsored, but just ran by. They're usually the sponsor.
Yeah,
that's what they usually do.
It's their tournament. Yeah, it's definitely their tournament. The Red Bull Conquest. I don't know if signups are still available. I don't.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure if signups are available. Maybe one of the things, if it's in your region and in your city, you can just sign up there and go in and try to qualify. There's going to be one winner from each city, and those winners will all meet up here in DC to compete for the championship.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're playing any of those games and you want to test your freaking might in a wholly new tournament ran by Red Bull, go ahead and give it a shot.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be looking out to the finals, because if we could get in there, like, I want to be in there.
Yeah. At the event, definitely. They have tickets. If you go to the tickets, it's on thing, but I want to write to them. It's Event Hubs.
Oh, okay.
It's on Event Hubs, but I want to ask them for a press pass. Why not?
Hey, man.
Tell us no, right?
Yeah. Tell us no, and then we end up paying anyway.
Yeah, we get 3, because we definitely got to take Mount Lover.
Oh yeah. We gotta have to take our FGC correspondent, Mount Lover.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he'll have to go. But yeah, so that was our top 5 news stories for the week. Let us know what you think about these stories, whether it's this one or the first one or anything in between. We would love to know what you guys are thinking in regard to these stories. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, hit us up. You can request stories as well. But if you want to request a story, you got to be quick, because Boogie, he's up on it, man. He is up, all night scouring the internet for stories. So if you want to beat him to the punch, go ahead and make it happen. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to our next segment. And we're getting back to the good, the bad, and the ugly, mostly ugly, because we have a story involving loot boxes. It's our patented, not really, segment this week in loot boxes. And this is a part of the show where we just talk about one, if not multiple stories involving the ever evolving story around the loot box question. Like, is it gambling? Is it harmful? Should we get rid of it? So this is the time where we cover that. So what do we have this week?
Okay, so we've got something out of the ESRB.
Yes.
So the ESRB is definitely trying to head off any kind of regulation, the government regulation on this loot box issue.
Right.
And they released a statement via Twitter, and it goes in to say, we noticed we've been a little bit quiet on in-game purchase and loot boxes, but we've been listening. And basically what they're saying is that they're going forward, start tagging or marking or putting logos or notification on boxes saying that the game has in-game purchases. Mm-hmm. It's going to be separate from the current ratings. The game rating is going to be a separate item from that, a separate post on the box from that. Mm-hmm. And it is essentially let you know that you can get in-game purchases real money.
Yeah.
The problem is the controversies with loot boxes,
right? Which
is you spend real money to get a random item, and most times the random item you get isn't the item, or is a low grade item, is not the high end item that you're looking for.
Right.
What the ESRB is proposing is putting this tag on game boxes for any and every instance of you being able to spend real money in a game. Right. When I say any and every, expansions and season passes, check.
Yep.
In-game currency, check. Cosmetic items, check.
Yep.
Loot boxes, check.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing and what you see there, yes, that's a problem, because basically every game these days have some kind of microtransaction, be it loot boxes, specific in-game items, game currency, or season passes. And that's what's driving me mad. Mm-hmm. Because if they're going to put this on the box, all it's going to do is cause confusion, because
so what it's going to do, well, what it's not going to do is distinguish the difference between normal, get what you pay for a transaction, mm-hmm. and random chance loot boxes. It's not going to distinguish between the two. So you'll pick up a game that has in-game transactions and still not know whether or not it has loot boxes.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically currently the way the gaming industry is now, every game on the shelf is going to have this label on it now.
Yeah.
Because it's not limited to loot boxes. It's going to be anything that you can buy in the game, and that's real bad, because there's games that don't have a loot box system that has season passes. And that now that game is going to be labeled the same as a game like Overwatch or Star Wars Battlefront 2 that thrives on loot boxes.
Right. That's
problematic. And again, that's all that's going to do is cause confusion, and it's going to cause this label to be ignored.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, yeah, I know this game every game has some kind of purchasability. And when you do that, you're muting the voice out there. And that's a problem. ESRB and ESA, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
This is strictly them trying to not get regulated. It's like, oh, look, governments, we're going to put it on the box for you. You don't have to say anything. But the problem isn't with those other things. Nobody has a problem with the season passes. Nobody has a problem with buying in-game currency. Nobody has a problem with buying skins. When it's specific what I know. When I go play Forza and I buy the Porsche pack, I know I'm getting 10 Porsche cars and what 10 Porsche cars I'm getting, mm-hmm. right? But if I go buy 10 loot boxes, I have no freaking clue what I'm getting, nor do I know what the chances are of me getting it. That'd be like me going buying Forza to go buy the Porsches, and instead of getting Porsches, I get 10 boxes, and in 9 of those boxes, I get 1967 Honda Civics, and one of the boxes I get a Porsche. That's where we're looking at. And
yeah. It's them not regulating themselves. It's them asking the government to interfere. That's primarily what's happening here.
Yep.
Because they don't want to give up this sweet scheme they got going on, mm-hmm. and it's going to cause the government to come in and potentially change gaming as we know it.
Right.
We don't know exactly what these proposals can do, short term or long term. Right. There's no clear indication. But what we do know is that the insidious nature of loot boxes, it needs to be addressed.
Right, exactly. And to be fair, and I think somebody said this in the chat last week, we don't want the government regulation, because government regulation tends to be super heavy-handed and broad. We don't want that. We would love the industry to regulate themselves, but if they keep pulling nonsense like this, the government is going to step in. And when they step in, it's going to be too late, because once they step in, it's, how hard it is to roll stuff back. It's like, right. It's next to impossible. So,
I don't know what else to say. I mean,
no.
What was even the point of them putting out that message? It didn't solve anything. They didn't address the problem. So
that's just the classic. We're listening, but we're still going to do whatever the hell we want to do. That's all that is. And I just hope that, again, I don't want to see government regulation, but the threat of government regulation is going to make them do something. And I hope that the legislators that are pursuing these channels don't accept this. I hope they keep pushing back on it to make them either say, look, we're going to put a law in the books, or you're going to do something better. Because this is nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But if EA has taught us anything, is that they really haven't learned from the situation at all.
No, definitely not. And
they haven't learned at all. I mean, they're still planning their next game with the next type of loot box style microtransaction scheme that they can get away with.
Right.
I mean,
there's stories out there about the next Battlefield game, which is going to be in World War II, and the rumor is that yes, it's coming. It's going to be in World War II, and yes, there will be loot boxes.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, these companies. I mean, I think Ubisoft that says they made something like $7 billion, is like 30% of their revenue or something like that. It's a ton of money out there for loot boxes, and there's people that are buying them, but they're going to get worse. They're going to get more abusive, and that's the problem. I mean, if people want to do loot boxes, you want to spend your money on loot boxes, by all means, but at least make it somewhat transparent. I mean, give me a break.
Like, I need to see the odds. Like, there needs to be a way to get the stuff without actually using buy loot boxes. There has to be caveats, man. You can't just have it your way and that's it. Like, there has, like, in a video, because video games are supposed to be fun, remember?
Exactly.
I don't play freaking video games to invest in some shit. Like, no, man, I want to have a good time.
Enjoy myself. Exactly.
God damn. But yeah, that's this week in loot boxes. Let us know what you guys think, because this story is not going anywhere. Like, I feel like we're gonna be reporting on stuff like this for a long time to come. So let's just hope that it doesn't end poorly.
Yeah,
because like this is crazy what's happening right now in gaming. Like, nothing like this has ever happened before. This is definitely crazy. But yeah, so now we can go ahead and get into the next segment, which is our long form discussion. And in this segment, we take a single topic and we kind of just do a deep dive into it. And to piggyback off of one of the stories that we had today, involving the DMCAs and the takedown abuse from that one stupid ass game by that stupid ass guy. We're going to be expanding that conversation and talking a little bit more about DMCAs and takedown abuse. Yeah. So let's get into it. What we got?
Okay, so I mean, we talked about this earlier, the DMCA takedown, and the problem is the way, and especially YouTube, the way YouTube has it set up. It is actually really easy for an IP holder to abuse their DMCA, that DMCA.
It's easy for just about anybody to abuse. You don't even have to be the IP holder.
Yeah, because the burden of proof actually comes to the creator, whoever's the
Right.
YouTube channel owner. They have to say, look, this guy doesn't even own the rights, so you need to take that strike. And it takes 30 days. YouTube doesn't tell you anything until after they made their decision. I mean, you sit for 30 days, you're sitting on pins and needles. YouTube's like, yeah, we'll get to you when we get to you. And they can lift a strike or they cannot lift a strike. And during that 30 days, the video that has a strike is taken down, can't be monetized, and it can also wreak havoc on you monetizing your channel.
Right. Because 3 strikes and you're out.
Right. So it's I don't know where we're going this, because I do feel that IP holders have a right to protect their content. Right. But there's also fair use, right?
Right.
We've gotten complaints on our channel, and we're a news channel. News is supposed to be universally fair use, right? I mean,
you would think,
right? But again, the way YouTube works, and a lot of other people work like this, the way YouTube works is you don't have that option. You can't even set up to say, hey, look, this is what we do, and these are the type of videos we make, and we shouldn't be getting strikes for reporting on something, news on something, a newsworthy topic.
Right.
But you don't have that option, and I think is twofold. YouTube needs to make a change, and that DMCA Act shouldn't be as far overreaching as it is.
Right, because even if, like, because there's been situations where somebody has just put out a DMCA, just to have it like linger in the system or whatever, because like you said, they issue the strike, and then that you have to wait 30 days, and then you as the content creator can issue an appeal, and then that takes 30 days, and waiting on whether or not it's actually going to go to court or not, that's too much time that's gone by.
Yeah, it's too much time.
They have implemented some changes that have helped out content creators. Like, instead of turning off the monetization completely, they hold it in a separate like little
escrow account,
like a separate account, and whenever it's disputed or whenever it's done, it goes to whoever just gets it, whether it's the content creator or the IP holder or whoever is making the claim. So there has been strides by YouTube to try and fix it, but it is such a broken system, man. Right. It's so broken, and it's so easy to manipulate.
Right, and you have some of the IP holders, Nintendo's one of them, that basically does auto claims. Anytime, is basically automatic. Anytime they hear or see any of their content on any video, it gets tagged, and it may not be a strike. It's just DMCA tag, and then any revenue that you get from that video goes to the IP holder. And again, it doesn't take into account how it's being used. It's one thing if it's doing a playthrough video like that, but anytime somebody's reporting on news or doing a review, that stuff is fair use, and that stuff shouldn't be getting strikes and shouldn't be getting the DMCA blocks and all of that other stuff. And
Nintendo has it real bad, because not only do they issue the strikes and the takedowns for putting up their content, but if you still decide that that's something that you want to do, you have to give up over like 70% of your ad revenue.
Yeah, they take their revenue.
They take. You have to like sign up for their partnership program. And it's like crazy.
We talked about that. They changed it to like,
they changed
like
it
70%. It used to be what? It used to be the other way, 30-70. Now it's 70-30. Is that right?
I don't remember what changed about it, but I think it was like if you were. It had something to do with streaming. If you were streaming or something like that, you had to leave the partnership program. Something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but something changed about it. But I don't know, man. It's a very delicate system that is just manipulated way too easily, because then you have issues like like we talked about today. The guy was sent a copy of a game to review,
right?
And then he gets a freaking takedown and a strike on his channel for critiquing a game. That doesn't make any sense.
Because somebody has a bone to pick. And, and the thing it wasn't even a company. I think he was like the lead developer. Maybe he's the owner. But either way, that type of power shouldn't be wielded, shouldn't be able to be wielded, especially in a targeted attack like that.
Right, and it was all over social media and everything. So,
I mean, it's definitely proof. It's not. He can't go back and say, "Oh, I didn't do this." I mean, it's definitely proof. In fact, it wasn't even his idea. Another tweet, another person, just a random person, jumped in the conversation. Hey, you could just issue a DMCA takedown. And he's like, "Oh,
yeah, I forgot about that."
Yeah, exactly. And it's whatever. I don't, and like I said, there needs to be changes, and I understand, and I sympathize with IP holders, right, and wanting and needing to protect their properties. I absolutely understand that, but there has to be some kind of give. They can't just take. It's just, that's not the way it's supposed to work.
Yeah, because like this is probably like, in this day and age, you don't even see gaming commercials on TV anymore.
Very seldom. I don't know. You watch some ESPN, they have a bunch of gaming commercials.
Really?
Yeah, they've been running this Far Cry commercial, and they've been running. There's another game they've been running. They've been running this Far Cry commercial, and they've been running another commercial.
Oh, I don't really watch TV all that much anyway. That's primarily what I was getting at, is that not a lot of people are watching TV, so a lot of the ads and promotion that games garner are coming from the internet, and more specifically the YouTube gaming community. These guys are giving their honest or sometimes dishonest opinions on games and influencing consumers.
Right, exactly. It's basically free advertisement for them, and for them to and to be fair, most of the content, most of the gaming content holders, the IP holders. They don't really have a huge deal unless you're doing something really bad. Like a couple of months ago was the PewDiePie issue where the developer was like, "Look, we don't want our video.
We don't want nothing.
So take our video off your site." That I can understand that, because if you don't want to be involved, somebody's doing something that's ill, and your brand is associated with it, you don't want to be. I can understand that, but just like I said, honest review. Honest. I mean, this I Am Patty Jack. His little series of videos. I mean, that's just his opinion. That's how he feels.
Right.
And everybody's entitled to that.
Yeah, everybody's entitled to an opinion, and they're definitely entitled when you send them the damn game to review.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just. We can sit here and cry about the DMCA and request to have it overhauled. That's not going to be overhauled. These idiots in Congress can't even pass a budget, let alone do something simple like this. I mean, they can't protect net neutrality. They can't even pass a damn gun regulation after what happened a couple of weeks ago.
It's crazy.
So to expect them to come in and do something to this is that's reaching for the sky. But others can, like others in the industry can do something. YouTube can revamp the way they handle DMCA takedown requests and DMCA requests in general. Yeah. And some of these IP holders can just get off the high hat and I mean, right? You own it, but come on, seriously.
Like why? It's crazy. But yeah, that's enough ripping on Nintendo, because that's primarily who we was talking about at the end there. Because they just doing the most. I got a lot of hate
for Nintendo this week, just because, man.
Yeah, Nintendo's is doing the most to just like make me not like them. Let's not jump back into that. That was a very dark place. But yeah, that was our long form discussion. We give you the news. We give our opinions, and now it's your guys' turn. So let us know what you guys think about all of these stories, all of these topics that we brought up today. If you disagree with us, let us know. If you agree with us, let us know. We want to reach out to you guys. So we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. You can leave us comments in the comment section if you're watching on YouTube. Wherever it is that you're consuming this media, we want to interact with you. We check our comments, so reach out to us and let us know what you think. Pick our brains and ask us questions as well. And with that, we could go ahead and just jump into the final segment, which is our final thoughts. And this is where we just kind of just retrace our steps and give our final 2 cents on the topics of today. So Boogie, why don't you go ahead and give us your final thoughts?
I'm looking forward to Bridget becoming available because then I haven't played Overwatch in months now, so
Okay.
I'll jump back in and mess around with Overwatch. Ubisoft, I think they just filled a couple of holes. The Far Cry action short, I'll take a look at it, but I'm not expecting much. Chrono Trigger, if you've never played it, and you don't have that nostalgic feeling about it, go and get it off of Steam because it's definitely worth the play. The PS Plus games, Bloodborne, I'm definitely getting. Ratchet and Clank, maybe, but you told me not to. But I'm going to get Mighty Number 9 and damage my eyes for a little while.
Come on, man.
The DMCA takedown, I have my beef, whether it's a 1 million subscriber user or a small thing, but there's no place for that.
Nah, man.
Nintendo, you know the internet. You need to have the tools available and readily available to prevent dick reviews. The Xbox Live Spring update that's coming out, like I said, I have it. I've had it since I think Wednesdays when I got it. I've been messing around with it. I like it. I like what they've added. I like what they've been adding. And the Mixer update is probably the most significant one with the controls, with being able to hand off the controls. But there's some other stuff in there that is very useful. The Red Bull tournament, that's actually kind of cool. And again, there's just more evidence of how big esports is becoming.
Yep.
ESRB, man, you guys go to hell. That's bullshit.
And that's all he said about that. As far as I'm concerned, I want to spend more time on Overwatch. I just need to make more time. I'll try and get on it once the new character comes out, and hopefully I can learn somebody other than Zarya, because that's like the only character I can play, man. Honestly. Ubisoft acquiring those studios, let's see what they do with them. I mean, it's clear that they want to keep them on the same road that they're going. So let's see how they expand on that. Like if we see any other games come out of these studios, or if they just same as always. Like I want to see if they actually apply these guys in other areas. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. Far Cry 5 in the live action short, I'm gonna check it out just because of how hype I am for the actual game. It'll be really good to get some backstory on that world, because it's very different from all the other Far Cries, in all honesty. Chrono Trigger, I might pick up this version. I'm not sure. I mean, I didn't play it when I was a kid because I never had a Super Nintendo. So I don't know. I might check it out, but it is unfortunate for those purists out there that there isn't at least a way to like switch it back and forth. You would think we have the technology to kind of just like have like a like a filtered mode and then have like a like classic mode, something like that. I don't know. It's just
I have, my theory is that they wanted to add the extra DS additions that weren't available in SNES.
I mean, they could have just rebuilt it. I mean, they just didn't want to do any work.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. They didn't want to put the time and effort into and resources into recoding that to work with the SNES ROM. They just released it as the DS one.
Yeah. Lazy boys. The PS Plus games, I'm getting both. Because I am a huge fan of Ratchet and Clank. It'll be really cool to play this one. I actually played the demo for it, and I don't know how well the movie did, but this, like, the animations in the game look so good. Like, that game looks good. That's a pretty ass platformer, so I'm gonna play that. And Bloodborne is a classic that I'm actually intimidated by, which is why I haven't bought it. I played Dark Souls 3, but I haven't played Bloodborne, so I have to go put some time into that, because that game deserves time. I mean, I feel like we talked enough about the DMCA takedowns, but that guy's a scumbag for doing that. Like, get the hell out of here. And the only thing he really did was make that YouTuber more popular. That's all he really did in the end. Nintendo pulling user reviews. I mean, you can't be surprised if Nintendo does not want to implement any kind of voice sharing or chat or anything like that. It's like it's clear that they have an issue with communication.
Right.
Like
the social aspect of gaming.
The social aspect of gaming. They have not grasped that concept yet. So this is not a surprise at all. It only took one dick review, and they were like, "Yep, cut it." The Xbox Live updates, they seem pretty interesting. It'll be really cool if you could play co-op with somebody in your chat. I think that'd be like one of the awesome. Coolest things ever. I'm gonna have to give it a try. And as far as the Red Bull tournaments, once that the finale goes down in November. I'm trying to be there. It's gonna be good. And the ESRB, man, you guys are not helping. No, you guys are not helping your cause. You want money. You're gonna lose a lot more than you get from trying to continue in the same vein that you're going right now.
Yep.
Because the government coming in and Uncle Sam gonna get his cut, my boys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He gonna get his. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. So let's go ahead and just wrap this up, man. This is a weekly gaming news show. This was episode 90. We go live every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, Mixer, YouTube, and Facebook. We are on Twitter at AWGamingNS. We're on Facebook, a weekly gaming news show. You just use our call letters, AWGNS. Hit us up like any and everywhere. Like, we want to reach out to you guys. We like doing this show. We want to make it better. So any suggestions that you have, leave them down in the comment section below. Also use the hashtag AskAWGNS if you want to ask us questions or submit us stories or anything. Just reach out to us. And if you're listening to us, you're taking us on the go, we definitely want to thank you for that as well. And Boogie, in case they don't know, fill them in on where they can listen to us.
We are in iTunes. We're on Google Play. We are in TuneIn Radio. We are also in the general podcasting directory. What that means is if any podcaster you're using, search us, a weekly gaming news show, or AWGNS, subscribe, listen, rate, and you'll get our shows. Also, if you have a smart speaker, if you have Google Home, Amazon Echo, one of those devices, you can use your wake up word and ask to listen to a weekly gaming news show on TuneIn Radio, and it will play the most recent episode for you.
Yes, this has been tested, so it works. So yeah, then we're gonna go ahead and close things out right now. If you want to see more of me, I have my freaking gameplay channel, the YTOS, also where you're watching us currently on Twitch, Mixer, and on YouTube. Well, not on YouTube, but on Twitch and Mixer. I do live streams on these channels, True Sonic, so you can come watch me play video games. And Boogie, what else are you into, man?
Nothing. This is all I do right now. I also do the 10 and 10.
Yeah.
On Saturdays at noon, I put up basically it's a headline show. We go down. I pick 10 headlines and I do a quick rundown. A lot of those stories end up on this show. Yeah. Not always, but if you just want a quick catch up of the past week in news, head over to our YouTube channel. And again, it's in the podcasting. It's in the podcasting list. Just pop it in, spend a couple of minutes, and most times they're less than 10 minutes.
I don't know how you did it, man. Like, each one of yours is like maybe like 6-7 minutes. Mm-hmm. I was like, how do you do that? I don't know. It was wild. I've only done one episode. I hated it.
Yeah, I try to keep it under 10 minutes just because I don't want it to go long. It's just something real quick, listen to while you're taking a shower or something.
Yeah. So that's going to be it. Yeah, we are your hosts. My name is Trenell, but you can call me True Sonic.
I'm Todd, also known as Up Jump the Boogie. Up Jump the Boogie to the rhythm, the beat.
Oh, yeah. And we out of here. We will catch you guys next week. Peace.